So let's get started. First question, it's all about women in trade, of course. Okay. If today you were a woman entrepreneur, what would your business be? And first, we'd like to hear from the Director General and then from the Executive Director.
You're really shielding your Executive Director.
She is my boss.
You see. Nicole, you need to be up here to protect me. If I were to be a woman entrepreneur, I think the issue is, I'm sure most of you don't know, I'm already a woman entrepreneur. Can anyone guess what type of business I would start?
Oh.
Manufacturing.
Dress? No.
Trade?
Design?
Okay. No. None of the above. When I started these two businesses, my brothers, who are real business people, laughed and said only their sister will start a business that doesn't earn much money. But I am an entrepreneur, and I think I started two businesses. They are both knowledge businesses. The first is a polling organization that does opinion polls in Nigeria and Africa. And I started it 15 years ago. And I think what I would do would be to try to push it towards more digital and digitization of its work. It now employs 53 young people full-time. Have nothing to do with it. It's being run by a very brilliant PhD from Johns Hopkins. Wow. And it employs, when it does polling in the field, another 1,000 or so people, researchers in the field, but 53 full-time. Wow. The other is another knowledge business, a think tank that has 35 brilliant young masters and PhDs. So I'm an entrepreneur, although it's a
digital entrepreneur as well. Amazing, thank you, DG. It was a fun question, but you really took it into a deeper way. Thank you. To our Executive Director, the same question, please. If you're an entrepreneur, what would your business be?
Well, I thought about it while the DG was talking. As you said, you gave me time, right?
Unfairly. Unfairly.
The one thing I thought about, and I really, every Olympics, I remember that I wanted to be an athlete at one point. So since this Olympics has come around again, I re-engaged with the sports industry. And one of the things I would love to do is become a sports manager, in the sense that image, branding, engaging with sports people who don't have the kind of representation they need, negotiating proper contracts, ensuring that they are protected, looking at their IP rights, their image rights. So that's one thing. But that's ambitious. So the other thing I'd really like to do is to build a little hut on a beachside and put books and coffee and just have people, lie around in hammocks and just have a good time.
We love that. Both dreams are very doable, I think. Thank you very much. We head to the second question. Let's see if we can get it off. Okay. What role do you hope men will play in the women and trade agenda? And DG, if you don't mind.
I'm beginning to mind, actually.
If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
Go first.
Maybe
Go
you can
first.
All right, I'll go
Okay,
first.
yes.
We'll save you this time.
While I think about it.
It's always an interesting question when you say the role men can play, because I think men are already playing a role. The issue is what positive role men can play. Sorry. I think what is important is to ensure that the role is not just a passive one, but a proactive promotion of women's rights, of women's ability to function effectively in the trade and international field, a recognition of equality, and not just a recognition, but in essence, walking alongside and ensuring that the process that has made women not as able to engage in economic empowerment arenas continues to dissipate. In other words, if we, for example, can do the gender-responsive public procurement and get most of the men in Parliament to agree to carving out a percentage for women entrepreneurs, it would be a powerful statement of what could be done by governments, mostly led by men, to ensure that women have at least a share of the pie, which is a $13 trillion industry.
Thank you. Proactive and positive engagement. Thank you. DG, same question, please.
I really agree with Pamela's observation, and I can add that I see so many roles that men can actively play. And, you know, when we're talking about empowering women, we shouldn't just be talking to each other and be our own echo chambers. We cannot do it unless the men agree to partner with us. And that is the bottom line. So I see them very proactively. There's no man here who says they are not able to do anything. One, there's the mentoring, mentoring of women. Many male entrepreneurs have better access to information, to finance, to all the things that are needed to make a business viable than women do. So when you succeed, you can mentor some other women who are trying to be entrepreneurs and support them. You can be their advocate. You can make it possible for them to access those same resources that you are able to access. You can be their moral support. There are so many ways that men can be directly helpful. And I think that I'd like to encourage them. And most of all, you can bring up your boys to know that empowering women is the right thing to do. And when you have an empowered female partner, it makes such a huge difference in your household, to your kids, to the nation, and to the world. And I'm not just, these are not empty words. Econometric studies have been done on this by no less a person than people like Larry Summers. And they've shown that this is the case. So we're not talking nonsense here, or we're not making it up. It exists. So please do it, men. You're good partners. We want you to be with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, DG. Third question. Maybe this one just for the executive director then.
Okay,
Yes?
good.
Okay. This question is, which object made by a woman entrepreneur do you
I want
have?
to answer that.
DG will also answer this.
Do I have?
Yes, you answer that one first.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah, because there are so many objects made by...
A woman entrepreneur that you most cherish. And if you
Oh,
can
that
tell
I
us
most...
why.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
most
tell
cherish
you,
is hard.
the one I most cherish is artwork.
Yes.
Female painters are also entrepreneurs. You know,
Yes.
they are talented. I adore art. And probably spend more of my money not on jewelry or on anything, but on art, especially African art. But here we have today Amal Al-Atem, whom I mentioned in the morning. I guess she's not here this afternoon, with her beautiful daughters and sisters. Just look at her talent. So the paintings I have by women artists, I value them very much. They are entrepreneurs. They are trying to make a living from their talent, and we need to support them. But I also wear and carry a lot of things by women. And I actually have my handbag here, you know, which is, it's not, can I have it maybe on stage?
Beautiful. Wow.
You know, this is made by a female entrepreneur. Adubia Jensen is her name. And she has a line of bags.
Wow.
I carry this with me everywhere. So it's, look at it. It's beautifully made.
Wow. It's beaded.
It's beaded. It's all beads by women, very meticulous work. I treasure it. I have it in all kinds of colors. You know, and it's a designer bag. So I advertise her. Go online, you'll find her, Dubia Jensen. Let me stop
That was
there.
the plug. Thank you, DG. ED, you share similar interests, but what is your favorite cherished object?
The truth is there's so many. You know, you get lots of things from, and I've had the opportunity to go all over and buy from our female entrepreneurs who've produced the most amazing soaps and jewelry and art, and you know, so I would say the most precious thing I got was a piece of jewelry that had my name engraved in it, and I thought that was beautiful. But I am also wearing, let me model for you all.
This is becoming a very fashion artistic show.
We have a runway.
So this is actually from Nigeria.
Oh.
From Nigeria.
And it's beautiful batik. So it's so beautifully done. And this
Edie,
is
would you
one of
mind
my
speaking
favorite
into the
things,
mic?
being able to- sorry.
Yes.
One of my favorite things is being able to wear their stuff. I just help, you know, to try out and to show people what's possible. You know, that's really it. I'm helping the entrepreneurs. But this is one of the things I love the most.
Thank you very much. So if you haven't, just to remember the bag and the outfits. These are some of the best treasured items. And then the next question, this one really is just for the DG because it's a WTO question, it looks like. You are the first head of the WTO fighting so much for gender equality. What drives you?
What drives me, I'm an economist by training. So it's not only about sentiment, you know, even though morally and everything else, I believe totally in women's equality. And I was brought up by a father who believed in it so much that we often tease my brothers. He expected more from his girls than his boys. So he just thought we could do everything. My father thought we should get our PhDs, we should write papers and publish, we should marry, have children, bring them up nicely,
Do everything.
be good wives. You know, so he just thought we could do anything. And, you know, have your father believe in you so much. It was amazing. He thought we could do anything. So there's that. But my training shows that gender equality is not a luxury. It's an imperative. The world misses out on tremendous amount of economic wealth by leaving women out. And so many studies have been done. If women had the same opportunities as men, the world could increase its global GDP by $28 trillion. This is a study by McKinsey, which everybody knows about. And I could quote you so many more by World Economic Forum, etc. So it is because of that hardcore training that we're really missing out. And you can see it. When a woman is empowered in a household, it makes a huge difference to the children, to the spouse, to the husband. It makes a huge difference to the country, to the economy, and so on. So it's not sentimental. It is factual.
The data proves it. Thank
The
you very much.
data proves it.
Edie, I don't know if you wanted to say anything, but yes, agreed. Okay. Then we move on to the final question for both our principals.
This is a nice game after all.
Thank you. Who wins Women of the Year for you in 2024? I think this is kind of a tricky question, so please take a few seconds to consider who wants to answer first.
I'd say Kamala Harris.
Very timely.
It's not a political statement. Let me be clear. I'm saying this because it's a phenomenal thing that she has been able to do. I lived in the United States for a long time, and to be able to take on a campaign that was dying and in 1 month turn it around to where it is now is a phenomenal, and on top of it being labeled DEI or all the other things that they call us black women, is a powerful symbol of what is possible and of what women, just open the door, we're going to run through it. And as she said, if we don't open the door, we'll kick it the F down. So that should become the, but the point I'm making is that for me is why. So that's,
Fiery answer, yes.
well,
DG,
she's half Jamaican.
that helps.
That's true. That is true. Well, Pamela is from ITC, which is much beloved, and she's much beloved by her members. I cannot make any statement, even if I say it's not political, it will be so interpreted. So over to you. I think what you said makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
But I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I've been thinking, you gave me time to think a little. And I mean, this may be on a slightly different note, but it's very personal. I think the Women of the Year, not woman, but Women of the Year for me, are all those women in conflict-affected zones. It really hurts when I see women, whether they're in Gaza, they're in Sudan, they're in Afghanistan, they're in Ukraine, they're in Russia, they're in whatever conflict there is. You see women struggling to put food on the table, struggling to think, how am I going to, and the men too. I'm not saying the men are not doing it. They obviously are. But these women are worrying about this, and to me, they're heroes. They're heroes. And when I see them, I get so sad sometimes. So for me, the Women of the Year, the women in conflict-affected zones who did not cause any of this conflict. And this is where I have to call men out. Because when I look at almost all the conflicts we have today, men are behind it. So this is one where I will not give men a pass.
Thank you very much, both to Director General and Executive Director, for being so honest and candid.